Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're starting a brand new What If called What If Gohan Never Stopped Training. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I post either Minecraft or Osu stuff. Now back to the video. Before we start with anything, I'd like to go over some things that I want to change about Gohan and with the story. First off being is his PTSD and his lacking will to train for himself to get stronger. His PTSD from a while ago is still there, but serves a different purpose. Even though he doesn't like training at all, being a half-breed and all that, his main reason to train to get stronger is his family, his friends, and the entire planet in general. Basically, since his father's death, he is the one from the Son family that can continue the legacy, pretty much staying as a main protagonist like he was at the Cell games. You know, being stronger than everyone and all. So his will to train is boosted by his PTSD actually, meaning he's fearing the future and feels a need to get stronger. He still keeps up with his studying in school though. With nothing else changed, let's begin the What If. During the 7-year time skip, a lot has changed in the terms of Gohan's behavior opposed to the canon. He became a good friend of Vegeta's since he wanted to train with someone stronger, so he spent his free time with Vegeta in the gravity chamber. Goten was born, and since Gohan was training most of the time, Goten would join in too to train with his older brother. Vegeta has taken an interest in the Saiyan hybrid and thinks of him as a true friend, even taking a liking towards him and Goku a lot more than he used to. Vegeta has become even more reclined towards his family due to Gohan's impact on him, and has become aware that he does indeed have a wife and a kid, telling him she has some great news for him. Gohan gets home and Chi-Chi explains how he got accepted into a very good high school and that he is starting in a few days. Gohan knew that's a way to go, but still has to keep up with his training, so he uses those days to train with Vegeta as much as he can. During a meal, Gohan asks Bulma that, since he's gonna fly to school, he's gonna need a disguise, preferably something superhero looking, since he saw a lot of bullshit go down in the city where he's gonna attend his high school. Bulma says she can make something in a couple of hours, since she has some time to kill, might as well do something productive she could actually enjoy making. Gohan is thrilled and thanks Bulma. He then goes back to training with Vegeta. A couple hours later, Bulma enters the room and passes Gohan the bracelet, but due to Gohan's confusion, she explains that she made the bracelet as a cloaking device for the suit, and since he is gonna land near school, might as well have a quick and easy change of clothes. Gohan thanked Bulma and continued training again. The Monday has come, the day when Gohan attends high school, and he gets ready. When he arrives, he sees some people who are speeding on the road, so he goes there to stop them since he has some time to spare. He does so and then goes to school. At school, he meets with Dell, and once he was told she is the daughter of Mr. Satan, they become friends rather easily, both being fighters of course. He tells her about his father and how he won multiple Tenkaichi Budokais, and Videl figures that he might have been there during the Cell games. She also mentions the next and upcoming Tenkaichi Budokai. Gohan thinks for a moment and decides to participate in it. He keeps his alter ego a secret quite well at this point of the story, until Videl tells him about a mysterious guy who went and dealt with the speeding squad. Gohan knows that's him but lies his way out. Videl goes to investigate the identity of what she gathered is the Great Saiyaman. She waits for tomorrow cause she knows shit is gonna go down. Next day, that's exactly what happens. She roams around the city before school and sees a bank robbery in progress. Saiyaman intervenes and she goes to take him on. He stops the robbery in time but senses someone behind him. He turns around to see Videl. Videl approaches him and looks up his head. She sees a very confused, sweating, and similar face under the disguise, so he shouts out Gohan's name. Gohan's heart drops and then he flies off into an alley and she follows. Videl questions him and he agrees to cooperate, taking off his helmet, revealing himself. Videl is shocked she actually caught him red-handed and asks him how he can fly, fight so good, be so strong, and so on. And he lies about it, saying that he trains in the local gym every day, while in reality, he is way stronger than he was previously shown. Videl says she will keep it a secret if he trains her. Gohan has no choice but to comply, so he asks what kind of training exactly, and she says the flying technique and some fighting moves. So basically, she's asking for more than in a canon. Gohan has to comply so he doesn't get exposed, and so he agrees to train her. One more school day passes and Videl heads off to Gohan for her lessons. Everyone looks on with wide eyes, whispering and talking to themselves if the two became a couple and all. They just dip out of there with red faces. Gohan then says since there are two of them, she can't really fly yet, so he calls for the Nimbus Cloud in the attempt to avoid carrying her, which he thinks will lead to even bigger problems and uncomfortable moments. They then depart on the Nimbus. They arrive at the outskirts and begin training. He first starts teaching her how to fly, and he can't really explain energy and how to control it. But to his aid, Goten arrives and gets introduced to Videl and the flying lesson, so he helps out with the explanation by ki blasting the fuck out of a big ass rock. Videl succeeds to bring her ki out and she takes flight for the first time. Once they finish the day, they decide to split up, but Gohan decides to take her to Bulma's place so she's closer to home. They then fly there, barely but surely. Once there, he tells Videl that she will now see what real training is like for him, calling for Vegeta and going for it. However, a voice appears from out of nowhere, and it appears to be Goku, asking to be signed up for the tournament too. Gohan is happy to hear his father again. Videl is confused. Gohan now has high hopes of getting over his weakness. Videl asks who that was, and he says that it was his father, how he's dead, and he could speak to them that way. With that, Gohan and Vegeta then have the hardest training session yet to celebrate Goku's return. The day of the tournament is finally there, and Videl is pretty trained up. Gohan and the rest of the gang is there, patiently waiting on Goku to arrive. Soon enough, he arrives, making everyone drop down in tears and greeting him with open arms. With Goku now there, Gohan finally lets his anxiety down for a bit and appreciates the time he has with his father. And with that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If you think Gohan became a bitch in the canon, then click dislike. But if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you'd like me to cover your idea in the near future, comment down below. And as always, peace out. Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're talking about what if Gohan never stopped training. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I post either Minecraft or Osu stuff. Now back to the video. In the last part, we discussed the events during the 7-year time skip. He trains quite often due to his PTSD pushing his fear of being afraid that someone strong comes to destroy Earth. For Gohan Tards, he prioritizes training over studying. He trains with Vegeta since Goku died, and they train hard every day. Vegeta and Gohan are equally tied in terms of strength, and they both learn from each other. At this point, they could even be stronger than Goku, and Vegeta doesn't need mind control from Babidi to go Super Saiyan 2 since Gohan trained him to achieve it. After the time skip, Gohan is still training but gets an invitation to a high school and he accepts it. On his first day, he meets Videl and gets it on. He tells the tales about his father and all that as she enjoys listening to it, doubting her father for defeating Cell and putting it on Goku. As the whole school suspects of Gohan's alter ego, Videl suspects Gohan and she's right as she surprises him from behind, looking up under his mask. Gohan then gets a threat from Videl to teach her flight and to train her to be as strong as him, and he can't turn it down cause everyone will know of him playing superhero. After their training, they sign up for the Tenkaichi Budokai, as well as Goku has told them he gets a 24-hour pass to participate. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the what if. After a nice training session before the unknowingly big tournament, Videl and Gohan go back to his house and have another meal. Goten asks about the tournament and Gohan elaborates. He spews out the stuff about Goku coming back, and Chi-Chi is more than happy she'll see her husband again after 7 years. Goten then asks to participate, and Gohan also lures Chi-Chi in to let him participate by mentioning the price. Videl is weirded out by his family and tries to act as normal as possible. The day of the tournament has come and they all arrive there. Goten and Trunks have to be in their junior division since they're minors and all, and they of course get accepted. The adult squad goes to the punching machine, and that was around the time for Goku to arrive, surprising everyone of course. He takes his turn, and after that Vegeta destroys the punching machine. Once they finally begin the tournament, everything unfolds as it's supposed to. Videl fights Popovich and actually beats him due to her being trained hard by Gohan since she asked. Gohan gets his energy stolen by Yamu and beating up Popovich, and they leave. Basically everything is the same as in the canon until they enter Babidi's ship. In there, Vegeta fights Pui Pui and basically owns him like in canon. Goku fights Yakan and owns him in the same way like in canon. Gohan and Abura then battle it out, and this fight goes a little more smoothly on Gohan's end, cause remember he actually trained during the last 7 years. Then after a lot of arguing between what they should do next, it happens. Vegeta grabs his head in pain and he starts rolling on the ground from that same pain. Shin knows what the hell is up and tells Vegeta not to let Babidi control him. Vegeta agrees to try but is doubtful if he'll succeed. This turns out to be a fail, and as Vegeta becomes Majin, he starts arguing and shit, basically trying to regain his pride as a Saiyan and going for Goku. From here up until the fight between Goku and Vegeta, nothing much different happens. When the fight comes, they both go Super Saiyan 2 and begin their fight. Lo and behold, Vegeta is actually winning, since he had proper training with Gohan as his mentor in a way. Goku then goes and starts transforming, attempting to destroy Vegeta's pride. But after transforming, Vegeta creates a light show and goes into Super Saiyan 3 himself, being blinded by his pride and not knowing the massive drawback of the form. Goku, being dead, has more control over the form and fights Vegeta until he loses his. Vegeta isn't going down so easily though, as he goes and tries his best, but almost gets defeated by Goku. Goku then tells him how Majin Buu got released by them fighting. Vegeta doesn't really care but rolls with it, only to kick Goku down unconscious, taking the last Senzu and departing towards Buu, thinking of the right way to end it. Upon arrival, he sees that most people that were there died or got beaten up, and decides that in order to defeat this childish pink blob, he will sacrifice himself. And from there, Vegeta's most honorable action in Dragon Ball history was made. He goes Super Saiyan 3 for the last time and does his prayers. His final atonement included mostly Gohan and his own family, but he paid special respects to Goku for opening his eyes way back in the Saiyan saga. With that, Vegeta does his final atonement, destroying himself, but somehow not Buu. From there, everything unfolds as in the canon. Gohan ends up in the Kaioshin realm, Vegeta discussing his second chance on Earth, Goten and Trunks learn fusion, Buu splits up into good and bad Buu and all that. In the chamber, Goten and Trunks are trying to master fusion after being taught by Goku and Piccolo, and they fight Buu. For once, they actually serious about everything and go on a rampage to kill Buu, but all is in vain as once they unfuse, all hope seems lost. Until Buu screams so loud it creates a distortion in the dimension leading to the outside world because, as you remember, Piccolo destroyed the exit. Gotenks and Piccolo follow after Gotenks goes Super Saiyan 3 himself, and you guessed it, everything from this point onward goes the same until Gohan shows up, stronger than ever, having his potential unleashed by the old Kai. With his current power level, he's vastly more powerful compared to canon because, you guessed it, he trained. He beat Buu Just like that, in a matter of seconds. He didn't even break a single sweat. The reason being is because he had the potential to go Super Saiyan 3. So potential unleashed power basically came in handy. Gohan literally dominated him, rendering the before planned fusion useless. He still had a hard time defeating him since Boo kept on regenerating. He realized if he releases a high volume attack, he will destroy him for good. And his plan works as Boo gets mad and goes for a finishing destruction ball, which Gohan counters with a Kamehameha. He pushes for a bit, then releases it all, engulfing Boo in it and ending him once and for all. With Earth back to normal, they wish everyone back to life and continue with their daily lives. With that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If you think I'm running out of ideas for this part of the script, then click dislike. But if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you'd like me to cover your idea in the near future, comment down below. And as always, peace out. Video. In the last part, we discussed the events going on in the Boo saga. Although most of them are the same, Boo was destroyed much sooner. To elaborate in a nutshell, Videl actually beats Popovich, Gohan got his ki drained, they all fought Boo with Vegeta almost succeeding with his final atonement, Gohan got trained by the old Kai while the kids learned fusion and taking it seriously in this case, and then Gohan came to dispose of Boo and he succeeded with no problems. They then revived everyone and returned to their daily lives. Oh, and Goku didn't get revived since he wasn't really needed, so old Kai is still living. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the what if. With Gohan lamenting on the events that happened in those horror-like days, he's getting reminded that everything is over and that he shouldn't worry about it. Videl is now catching up to what Gohan really is and knows of his Saiyan heritage and all that. Videl is actually in love with Gohan and Gohan feels the same about her, being with her mostly. So they become a couple very soon and eventually get married. The only interesting thing on the ceremony during the marriage is Goku dropping in from the other world with the help of Kyle-sama, congratulating Gohan on his new bride. Which Gohan is happy he got a response from his father. But happiness doesn't last long because in about 6 months, Earth will face a new fear that will potentially shroud it in total darkness. 6 months have passed and the life on Earth has been pretty peaceful. Gohan was given 100 million zeni, which he used for his upcoming studies and a house for his wife. However, far away at the very end of the universe, someone named Beerus has awoken from his sleep. We find out that he is a god of destruction in this universe and that he has had a prophecy but can't remember it, so he goes to destroy some stuff. Back on Earth, Gohan and Videl have settled. As they're unpacking, Videl doesn't feel very well, so Gohan intervenes. Just then, Bulma calls up to confirm that they're indeed coming to her birthday party, as Vegeta is also there and is training in the little garden and would like some company. Gohan remembers having totally forgot about it and goes to get himself and his wife ready for it. They fly to the cruiser and see that the party is pretty lit. Gohan says he'll come back as he goes to the Vegeta and has a quick chat with him, then goes back to his family. Chi-Chi's there too, so he goes to his mom who congratulates them both on a marriage yet again and hopes for them to have children soon, to which both of them blush. Back with Beerus, he and Whis are both going from planet to planet, destroying them and leaving the Supreme Kais clueless until they see Beerus himself doing it. Beerus mentions the prophecy again to Beerus, and after destroying one more planet, he sees a Super Saiyan God right before his very eyes, finally remembering it. Whis notifies him of a couple remaining Saiyans that reside all over the universe, but one in particular has saved it from Frieza and another one from Majin Buu, which is coincidentally his son. Beerus is interested and goes to investigate. They arrive at Kyle's world unannounced and they speak to Goku, who replies he doesn't know of a Saiyan God or any of that bullshit. So Beerus leaves after Goku challenges him and gets beaten up. They then head towards Earth. Gohan and Vegeta both get notified of that and they look at each other and decide that they should just watch on and make it unfold as smooth as possible so no one tampers with him. Everything from here on out unfolds the same until somehow Yamcha pisses Beerus off and gets instantly made to rehearse how weak he actually is. Both Gohan and Vegeta know shit is about to go down, and so they watch in horror how other people fight Beerus to no avail. Vegeta then enters, and the "What did you do to my Bulma?" thing goes on. Vegeta also gets kicked, and Gohan, terrified about the entire thing and scared for his family, goes ballistic, turns mystic, and charges at Beerus, making a huge dent compared to Vegeta due to his rage, but still not there yet. With nothing else to show to Beerus, he hugs his wife and prepares for the impending doom. However, out of all people, trees, and plants in a way, Goku arrives with fortune teller Baba and tells Beerus to stop as he has a way to bring the Super Saiyan God to Earth. He gets the Dragon Balls and summons Shenron. The whole bringing Super Saiyan God to Earth fails, however Shenron explains the ritual, and so they decide to do it. They realize they need 6 Saiyans. However, if you remember Videl feeling dizzy, yeah, Videl is pregnant and decides to help their cause. They then bicker about who should be the Super Saiyan God, and Goku mentions how he doesn't know how it will affect him, nor how much time he will have in that form. So he lets Gohan take it, being the strongest and all. The ritual starts with flashing lights and ends with a much younger looking and red-haired Gohan, ready to take on Beerus. The fight begins and Gohan has to adjust to the form, and he has to do it quickly as Beerus is impatient and is beating him silly. Gohan is trying his hardest not to overshoot his attacks, but he realizes the power boost is the thing that's keeping him from fighting efficiently. So in a matter of minutes, he adjusts his fighting style to the form and goes for the first attack. He lands it and Beerus takes it like nothing, but receives quite a bit of damage from it. They then take it to space, counting in that there's still Earth, so they have to be careful about it. They continue fighting. The entire universe is shaking excessively, and the Kais are afraid that it's about to literally get destroyed. However, they both decide to share linear blows that are perfect with the universe's cosmic strings. Gohan pushes all of his power into his attacks, but ultimately he fails as he gets stabbed in the chest by Beerus. As he's falling towards the Earth, he remembers all his friends and family, and that pushes him to go further as it goes back up, now healed by the form. He then pushes the very last Kamehameha towards Beerus, and Beerus handled it no problem. We go on doing his one last push, he faints and starts falling again, with no extra energy to exert. Beerus shows some respect for the Saiyan and goes back to Earth and says he will return to fight another day. This time, not going to sleep like in canon, he just leaves. Gohan takes a sigh of relief and looks at Videl and hugs her, saying not only she saved the Earth, but made him the happiest man alive, shedding a tear or two. And with that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If you think I can't do long streams in no suit, then click dislike. But if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you'd like me to cover your idea in the near future, comment down below. And as always, peace out. Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're talking about what if Gohan never stopped training. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description on this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I post either Minecraft or Osu stuff. Now back to the video. In the last part, we discussed how Gohan got 200 million Zeni, and he used it to get a house for his wife. All of a sudden, a god named Beerus has awoken from his sleep and has had a prophecy about a Super Saiyan god. Meanwhile, Bulma has a birthday party on a cruiser she rented and is having a blasting party, while Beerus is jumping from planet to planet and destroying them. When he destroyed a particular planet, he finally remembered the prophecy he was dreaming of. So he goes to Kyle's planet and interrogates Goku about the Super Saiyan God. The young Saiyan has literally no clue about the Super Saiyan God, so Beerus has to go towards Earth to see if any other Saiyans have any Super Saiyan gods on their planet. Gohan and Vegeta are there, and since they heard of Beerus coming, they decide that they shouldn't risk getting Earth destroyed by tampering the God of Destruction. Once Beerus did come to Earth, he basically had an all-you-can-eat buffet until Yamcha pisses him off and gets beaten up. When all hope seems lost, Goku came to Earth along with fortune teller Baba and told Beerus to hold off just a little bit because he has a plan. So Beerus lets him summon the Super Saiyan God. Sharon told him about the ritual and they've come to the conclusion they only have 5 Saiyans. So Videl announces her pregnancy. With 6 Saiyans now assembled, they get ready for the ritual. Once they do it, Gohan and Beerus finally fight. The battle is fierce and goes similarly to the original, with only one small difference. Beerus shows his respect directly, not falling asleep like in canon. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the what if. With Vegeta a little pissed he didn't get to be a Super Saiyan God, he wants to become one, so he asks him if he can do it again. But Gohan answers how that was probably a one-time thing and he can't really do much, although his base form got a huge boost from it. Vegeta, being more respectful, decides to just let it go and train with him to even himself with Gohan. They're training in the wilderness most of the time, trying to catch up on each other and all that. Once they do go to the gravity chamber, they see Whis, getting scared of course. They ask what he's doing here, and Whis replies how since his first visit, he has tried food that are beyond tasty, and how he's coming every once in a while just for that. With Videl, who is conveniently there, proving the point. Vegeta, knowing he ain't no ordinary angel, he asks what exactly Whis is, and Whis replies that he is Beerus' teacher, which kinda shocks Vegeta, but he knew that he's at least something to the Destroyer God. Vegeta then asks to be trained by him, which Whis is first reluctant to, but then agrees if he gets the best dish he has ever tried. So Vegeta goes over dozens of dishes, which Whis has already tried. Gohan then realizes that he responds differently to dough and stuff like that, so he goes and brings out the instant ramen and begins boiling it, with Bulma scared in the back. Once Whis tried it, he let both Gohan and Vegeta go to his planet to train. Gohan then tells his wife he's gonna train and will come back every once in a while, and Vegeta says the same to his wife, and they then depart to Beerus' world. Upon arrival, they go and train right away. Since Gohan has a Super Saiyan God boost, Vegeta and Gohan have to spar with each other to get on par with each other. They eventually get sent to that place with high pressure and train there. During that time, Frieza Force is planning to revive Frieza and is heading towards Earth to get their Dragon Balls and wish him back. Everything happens like in the canon and Frieza is revived. Frieza vows to defeat Goku and every single Saiyan. The commander mentions how Goku is dead after the battle with a guy named Cell, so his son Gohan took over the whole place. Frieza is glad that one who killed him is finally dead, but there are still remnants he needs to dispose of, so he begins his training. Back on Beerus' world, they're training hard and are getting accustomed to God Ki and are getting their first taste of Super Saiyan Blue. Whis mentions to himself how Gohan is training because of his brain pushing him to, and Vegeta seems to be very stubborn. He is also proud of his new students and their potential. After a while, Gohan and Vegeta unlock the Super Saiyan Blue and can use it at will and all that. They're training harder than ever. Gohan is slightly stronger by Vegeta, but Vegeta doesn't care about it since he created a strong bond with Gohan during the 7-year time period back before Buu Saga. Frieza has grown stronger too, and has unlocked his golden form, and since he did it, he immediately sets the course for Earth to dispose of it. Once he arrives, he has come for blood much stronger than the last time, and well, you know, everyone feels his energy, so they go to see what's up. They know they have no chance, seeing how strong Frieza is in his first form, not to mention his final. Bulma tries to call up Whis alongside Jocko, while the entire Frieza force is on Z Fighter's asses. Ginyu also appears, having switched bodies and all that, and he is unbeatable. Bulma finally reaches Whis and screams for Gohan and Vegeta to come back to Earth this very instant as Frieza is back. Gohan gets nervous and asks Whis to take him to Earth. Whis mentions that it'll take about 30 minutes or so to get to Earth, and they have to take it, and so Gohan, Vegeta, and Beerus head towards Earth. Meanwhile, Ginyu is trashing the Z Fighters, and at this point is just playing with them. Having played with them for quite a while, Frieza commands him to destroy them, and Ginyu obliges. However, the Saiyans come just at the perfect time and see that Frieza is indeed alive, and his force is pretty much unbeatable to the most of the universe. Gohan launches a ki barrage towards Ginyu and disintegrates him, then helping Krillin and Roshi get up. Gohan asks of Vegeta to take on Frieza since he has no business with the tyrant, and Vegeta gladly accepts, having returned his pride. While Whis and Beerus are stuffing their asses with a sundae, Gohan is helping everyone get up by giving them a senzu and explaining where him and Vegeta were this entire time. Vegeta takes flight towards Frieza and meets him face to face yet again. And with that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If you think I'm a mega Chad, then click dislike. But if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you'd like me to cover your idea and Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're talking about what if Gohan never stopped training. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I post either Minecraft or Osu stuff. Now back to the video. In the last part, we discussed Vegeta's displeasure that Gohan got to be a Super Saiyan God, so he goes and trains with him in hopes of evening himself with Gohan again. However, this escalates even further to Vegeta's pleasure into training with Whis after he was introduced to instant ramen. When it got accepted, it went to Beerus' world. After a bit of training, they get a weird feeling, and it turns out to be correct as Frieza got revived and he swears he will rid the universe of Saiyans once and for all. Whether it's a full-blooded half-breed, it just doesn't matter to him. He begins his training. After 4 months for Frieza and 10 months of training for our hero protagonists, Frieza heads to Earth. Our Z Fighters got trashed by none other than Ginyu, and just as Ginyu was about to dispose of them all, Vegeta and Gohan finally arrive, destroying Ginyu and facing Frieza once Gohan healed everyone. Gohan said he has no real issues against Frieza compared to Vegeta, so he let Vegeta handle him, which he took with great pride. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the what if. With Vegeta confronting Frieza, he did his talk about how Goku was his rival and so was Gohan at the beginning, but he found his way and became actual friends with him, so he's just training for the sake of the old days and to beat idiots like Frieza. Frieza, being pissed off, goes to his final form right away and starts to battle, and he's doing quite bad considering how much training he did and how much Vegeta did. They clash for quite a while, but Vegeta always throws stronger punches. So Frieza, being cocky, tells Vegeta that he knows that he has more to unleash and to unleash it now as he has an ace in the sleeve himself. So Vegeta does so. Vegeta makes quite a light show, actually flexing a little while he's at it to prove his dominance, and transforms into a Super Saiyan Blue. Frieza feels the pressure coming from it, but isn't too concerned at all, as he tells Vegeta to prepare himself as he starts transforming too, making a light show as well. But in his case, he makes it a lot more violent to try and assert his own dominance. Once he finishes, they continue the fight, and they seem and are pretty much equal. However, there's a problem on Frieza's end. Since he went golden and then went to Earth the second he got it, he started losing stamina fast, and so Vegeta exploited it by literally taking all the hits. Frieza got infuriated, of course, and went to power up, but he was already at his peak. That meant Vegeta can finally shut him up for good. Vegeta then unleashes the rage of all the Saiyans Frieza has killed, as well for the time he worked for him, killing countless lives. Frieza finally dropped out of his form and started lamenting his crushed dreams. Also, he started screaming bloody murder because the one who was loyal to him in the past actually beat him. Vegeta then blasts him away with all the hatred he has for the tyrant, nearly piercing through the center of the earth as well. And with Frieza now gone, they dispose of the remains of the Frieza Force, and they then finally have time to relax. It's been a few days after the whole Frieza thing. Vegeta and Gohan are training in a gravity chamber to further their skills of maintaining the Super Saiyan Blue. Whis joins in, helping them with sparring while he's at it, and he then asks Gohan why he didn't revive his father since he can be revived one more time. Vegeta is interested in seeing Goku revived, and Gohan would like that, and so they decide to gather the Dragon Balls on Namek to revive Goku. They do so, and when the Namekians saw that they are reviving the one who saved them, they become more than cooperative. Once they revive him, it's followed by Goku's voice from King Kai's place and his confusion, and they then bring him to Namek. Goku finally gets there and is in very obvious confusion. Gohan, seeing his father for the first time in forever, goes and hugs him, crying quite a bit. Vegeta looks at Goku and he looks back, which is followed by a smirk to each other. Goku then takes the pleasure to instant transmission them all to Earth, with great confusion why Whis is there. They finally reach Earth and Goku is interrogating Vegeta how he trained to fight him again, just to see where he stands and all. Vegeta just says okay, and then their battle begins, with Bulma cringing just how they constantly fight. However, this time it's for the sake of the good times. Vegeta stays in base while Goku goes Super Saiyan and starts going to town with Vegeta. Vegeta doesn't even flinch, even in base, so Goku goes Super Saiyan 2 and Vegeta now has to do something instead of just blocking the hits. However, Goku knows this won't be enough, so he goes to his Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta sees that he seems more powerful in it, and for a good reason. Goku is trying to get an edge and is almost there. However, Vegeta is still holding his own. Vegeta then starts taunting him how he can't even push him beyond his base, and if he can't do that, how is he even supposed to win against his own son? To which Goku replies that this isn't his last form, piquing Vegeta's interest. Vegeta lets him transform and Goku sure does so. His hair doesn't get longer, don't worry, it actually becomes shorter. Vegeta can sense an insane change as Goku is transforming and sees a few notable changes. His hair is now of normal Super Saiyan color with a slight greenish tint. He's way bulkier and his power skyrocketed exponentially. After the transformation, Goku calls it Super Saiyan 4, seeing it's a fourth transformation in a row, while in reality, he's actually tapped into something called Type B Super Saiyan. Rather imperfect one though. Goku then attacks Vegeta and for once he does damage, a whole lot of it in fact. Vegeta can't believe it and is forced to take defensive until he sees the height of the form. He sees that it's pretty endless as Goku is fighting him, so he is forced to transform into a Super Saiyan and then continues the battle. He sees a notable difference in Goku's behavior, and that is, he's losing control and is fighting more and more wrathful than he did when he first transformed. So he goes and enjoys it while it lasts. As they fight, Goku is starting to lose his irises and Vegeta notices it as he lands a close blow a few seconds later. Goku then completely loses it and his irises disappear. Vegeta knows he's fitna fucked up and tries to hold him off in his Super Saiyan 2, but to no avail. Thinking through it, he needs to knock out Goku to return him to his senses. So he goes Super Saiyan Blue and literally sledgehammers him from behind, ending the fight. Goku wakes up and apologizes to Vegeta. He knows he has to be able to maintain the form. He also asks Vegeta how did he get so strong, and Vegeta says he trained with Whis. Goku then asks Whis to be his student, and while Vegeta is screaming at Goku for not being respectful, Whis just says yes, infuriating Vegeta because he had to cook to get stronger. Regardless, he is happy he has one more sparring partner to train with. And with that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If you think FCing maps and getting ranked on Osu is a waste of time, then click dislike. But if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you'd like me to cover Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're talking about what if Gohan never stopped training. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I post either Minecraft or Osu stuff. Now back to the video. In the last part, we discussed the start of a really big fight between Vegeta and Frieza. He starts lamenting his memories and gets triggered about it and starts the fight. After Vegeta claimed his dominance upon Frieza, Frieza went and transformed into his golden form and Vegeta went Super Saiyan Blue, and they continued the fight, being the same in terms of power until Frieza started losing his. Vegeta went and dominated Frieza. After Frieza lost his golden form, Vegeta gave him a speech before finally getting rid of Frieza with such rage he almost put Earth into the threat. After that, Whis told Gohan that it would be nice if he revived his father Goku, so with the help of the Namekian Dragon Balls, they do it despite Goku's utter confusion. Despite knowing he is many times more powerful than him, so he goes and initiates a fight with Goku. Goku goes through Super Saiyan 1, 2 and 3. Vegeta thinks that's his peak, but he doesn't know Goku has one more form to show, and that's Type B Super Saiyan, or in his words, Super Saiyan 4. After a while he goes berserk and gets angry for some goddamn reason, so Vegeta has to put him out for good to come back to his senses. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the what if. With Goku now revived, they're basically partying his return. Chi-Chi is literally crying she got to see her husband again, and Bulma just soaks in the fact that the guy she met a long time ago just can't die, no matter what. After hearing from Whis about his training, the trio then goes back to Beerus' world, angering both Chi-Chi and Bulma, which after seeing Goku for a brief moment, they go nuts. However, the Saiyans couldn't care less, and they let their Saiyan nature get the better of them. After training for a while, they decide to clean the place up. Beerus goes to take a nap and they then continue. All of a sudden, another purple cat comes over unnoticed and uninvited, while the trio trains like it's their last, and they wake Beerus up, triggering him. Beerus, unconscious of himself, goes and accidentally goes after this other cat. Once the cat cleans its face, we see it's Champa, who is the destroyer of Universe 6. And he has come for Beerus to taste test the food. Champa then gives him eggs, which he joyfully spits out, and then Beerus whips out the ramen. Champa eats it and actually doesn't eat it, he actually fucking vacuums it, and he realizes that Universe 6 has shit food and he wants to know when Beerus got the ramen. After hearing of Earth, he bets with Beerus that if he wins the tournament, he gets the Earth, but if Beerus wins, he gets to keep the Earth and the wish. Goku is more than up for it. Vegeta would like to test his own strength anytime, and Gohan would like to see just how good his blue form is in general. So they all agree. For the rules, Goku suggests the rules of Tenkaichi Budokai, and Champa accepts these terms. They now start preparing. Goku gets a taste of Super Saiyan Blue and finally is able to keep it steady, but knows if he does something and tries to push it, it can cost him his life. So he doesn't consider Kaioken just yet. Gohan, on the other hand, is trying to see how well he can do with Mystic and Super Saiyan Blue on, but fails to find the answer as he keeps on trying Mystic. But then he realizes that his power is much higher than Mystic than Super Saiyan Blue, so he rolls with it. Vegeta is trying something on his own. As he's training on his own, he starts working on getting to power up even further, as he saw in Goku's case that transformations have no limit, and so tries to do it, but is blinded by his own pride. After a lot of failed attempts, he goes and asks Goku how he achieved the Super Saiyan green thing or whatever. Goku replies that he achieved it by pouring pure rage into his form, achieving it. Vegeta tries to do so in front of Goku, and in rage, on long in desperation, he succeeds in unlocking something called Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Goku is confused and asks about it. Vegeta goes back to base and tries to do it again, but the desperation needed for the form isn't there and he fails. Gohan actually manages to get the sign of Super Saiyan Blue in his Mystic and gets a moment to evaluate the power coming from himself. Goku tries something for himself, however it's quite unsuccessful. He tries stacking Kaioken on top of Blue but fails and falls due to strain. Gohan is then sure of himself that if he gets pushed, he can do it in the tournament, along with Goku and Vegeta. They then go and hunt for other people who might be able to participate. They find Piccolo and then think about adding Goten or Trunks to the game, but Vegeta says they're inexperienced, so they pick Tien as their 5th contestant. With that, they're ready for the tournament. The day of the tournament came and they assemble on an unknown planet. The ring looks decent for a fight and they decide to take the test of intelligence, which Goku barely passes, while everyone else passes with flying colors. Okay, well, maybe except Vegeta, who also barely passes. They meet the other universe's contestants, but we'll learn more about them as they fight them. The tournament finally starts and the first to fight are Goku and Botamo, and it literally goes the same as in the original. Same with Goku and Frost. Piccolo and Frost battle goes pretty similar too. However, they realize that Frost is cheating and he should be disqualified. Vegeta, however, steps in and asks for a rematch. Thinking again, he lets Gohan take care of him, basically repaying him a debt when Gohan let him fight Frieza. So he says Gohan is the one to do it. Taking it all in, Gohan goes in the ring and lifts all the rules for this one match, and the destroyers agree. The fight begins and Gohan is in Mystic from the start, and he's actually heavily suppressed against Frost. So he powers up a bit and with no sweat, kicks him out the boundaries. Next up is Gohan versus Vegeta, and this goes pretty similar as the fight in the canon, with the exception of Gohan realizing about the whole roasting Vegeta thing, and he then insults Vegeta to his advantage. Gohan and Cabba then fight, and it's clear they're relatively equal in base. Gohan then takes pity and goes Super Saiyan, advising Cabba to do the same, but Cabba says he can't. Vegeta is just disappointed at Cabba, Goku is weirded out, and Gohan is just there standing in big confusion. He then gets an idea to get him Super Saiyan, so he continues to fight Cabba in his Super Saiyan and is dominating him badly. In theory, he should remember his family, his plan and all that, which would bring out a catalyst to the transformation. The plan worked and he goes Super Saiyan, of course. Gohan then tells him to remember the feeling as he was taught in the transformations. Cabba then realizes that even though he's more powerful, he has seen quite a good bit of Gohan's power, but still gives it his best, failing to win at the end as Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2 and knocks Cabba out of the ring. The last battle is against Gohan and Hit, and so it begins with Gohan struggling with Hit. He goes Mystic only to be brought down. However, Gohan might have a trick up his sleeve as he charges a Hit and he blocks Hit's attack, to all confusion. This happens for a few more times until Hit goes and starts quote unquote powering up, extending his time skip. Gohan yet again has nowhere to go in the battle, so he has to try out the thing he fears will be unsuccessful the most. As he prepares, he goes Super Saiyan Blue and then begins to scream as his hair stands up even more, going Mystic Blue, and proving he also has an ace in the hole, as his power increases by a whole lot, followed by Whis taunting Beerus that Gohan might be stronger than him, to which Beerus is pissed and argues with Whis. Gohan decides that this fight is over and goes for the Kamehameha. At first the beams struggle, however Gohan proves he's more dominant by going all out and almost killing Hit. Hit just barely manages to escape the blast. As he steps on the edge of the ring, he collapses backwards, getting knocked out and out of the ring. With that, Gohan wins the tournament with only two who lost, those being Goku and Piccolo. They then go summon the Super Dragon Balls after a small encounter with Zeno, and Beerus wishes for the Earth duplicate in Universe 6. With that, they go home to celebrate their newest victory. And with that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If you think my drawing is trash and wouldn't want me to use my tablet for Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're talking about what if Gohan never stopped training. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I post either Minecraft or Osu stuff. Now back to the video. After a nice little battle with Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta and Gohan go back to train much to their wives' displeasure. But they're in for a good as Champa comes over and brings in some weird ass eggs. They try them and they come to the conclusion they're just normal eggs. And they then bring Champa the ramen and he loves it. He realizes that it's an earth food and he has no earth, so he plans on taking it by proposing a tournament, to which everyone joyfully agrees. They grab Piccolo and Tien and they go to an unknown planet where the tournament will take place. They start fighting and everything goes as in canon until Vegeta tries to take on Frost. Thinking twice, Gohan let him destroy Frieza, so he returns that favor, regretting it a little later. Gohan lifts all rules and owns Frost. Then Vegeta, then Kaba after taking a similar approach to teach him Super Saiyan, and then finally Hit. Well, he defeats Hit after fulfilling his desires of gaining Mystic Blue and overpowering Hit by a long shot. Zeno appears and that stupid Goku asks for a similar tournament from Zeno, to which he agrees. After that, they give Champa their own copy of Earth. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the What If. After the tournament, they enjoy the time of peace and Gohan goes back to his studies, with the occasional training on the side, which is dropping his performance a bit during lectures. Videl has brought him plenty of books to study from for his job, but Gohan is surely procrastinating. One of his managers have noticed the lack and are questioning his methods, to which Gohan replies he's trying but he has to train to get stronger. His manager blows a gasket at him for not taking his real job seriously. He tells him he won't get any weaker if he gives it a rest every once in a while, but Gohan loses it, telling him that he needs to train because of his past, and starts powering up slightly, but gets to his senses and stops. His manager is confused and a bit scared. Gohan just apologizes and goes back to work. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta are trying to best each other in a gravity chamber, and are training quite hard while they're at it. Despite Vegeta trying hard to get Goku to his level, he just can't because Goku is leagues away from him. However, Goku is trying to help Vegeta get a hold of Super Saiyan Blue evolution at will, but doesn't know the right trigger for it. Goku then gets a call from Beerus all of a sudden how Zeno needs to talk to him, so he has to go. Zeno, considering him a friend, asks for the tournament and Goku can't wait because Saiyans just love to fight. And with that, the date is set. Zeno even gave him a button so he can come over anytime to play or something. Goku then realizes that he needs to get stronger because the rest of the Saiyans are receding away from him, so being stronger, Piccolo agrees to help his cause. With that, they go to the time chamber for about 3 years in their time. But in the future, we can see Trunks running away from someone. He hides behind a building and then flees to his haze house to meet up with Mai. They then go out, only to be met up with this strange entity again. They manage to get away somehow and end up in Capsule Corp, where the time machine is being kept. Bulma tells Trunks that this tank will only last for one trip to the past, and he has to find someone to help him. The entity arrives and destroys half the place, also killing Bulma right before Trunks' very eyes. With no time to waste, he gets to the time machine and goes back to the past. Upon arrival, Bulma notices that a time machine has arrived and can't believe her eyes when she sees a "Hope" written on it. Trunks goes to take a look and sees a badly beaten up future Trunks, even though he calls him someone because he doesn't know of him just yet, but will soon learn as it will be revealed by the soap opera way. They bring him out and they try to find a way to heal him. Goku of all idiots arrives and recognizes Trunks, triggering the soap opera thing, and then teleports to Korin to give him a senzu bean. Bulma also calls Gohan and Vegeta to come home from Beerus' world. Since in canon Goku was the one to get them back home, they have to travel with the help of Whis. Goku gives Trunks a senzu and he wakes up, very confused. Seeing Goku made his eyes sparkle, seeing how he's actually alive. Gohan and Vegeta then come, and Trunks becomes enraged all of a sudden and attacks Gohan. Gohan is confused, of course, but he blocks the punch like it's nothing. Bulma then bonks Trunks on the head and tells him what the actual fuck he thinks he's doing, before Trunks got to his senses and saw that it's the real Gohan. He then goes to apologize and explains that he thought it was someone else. He carries on with the story about a man who claims to be Gohan, but isn't. They call him Gohan Black, and he's literally tearing his entire reality apart. Everyone just gets confused and Goku asks to elaborate a little more. Trunks then does, explaining how this Black is killing thousands of people every day for shits and giggles, and is trying to create a perfect world free of mortals. Goku gets enraged and would like to fight him. Just then, as if Shenron was listening to Goku's wish, Black arrives through a vortex. Seeing a new timeline and old faces along with it, he looks upon everyone and sees Trunks, saying, "So, you ran off to your mommy and daddy, huh? Oh well, more mortals to kill. Just like the ones that were back in your timeline." Goku now sees Black and goes to him, but Gohan catches his foot, telling him that this is his time to fight. But Goku then pulls him up along with himself because he wants to fight him. "I take it you're Black." "Indeed, Goku." "Father." "I never approved of a son that would kill so many innocent lives." "It seems you've caught on. Wanna die like your future self?" "We'll see about that." As the two initiate a battle. At first Black was winning until Goku went Super Saiyan. Now they're on par with each other until Black raped his Denkai abilities and got a boost from a kick to his gut. So Goku had to go Super Saiyan 2. Just then, the Rift reacts to the time ring, to which Beerus and Whis take great interest. Black then decides to finish cleaning his mess and disappear, but Goku isn't letting him, going Super Saiyan 3 and kicking him in the chin, sending him flying into the Rift. Before Black could disappear through his rift, he destroys the time machine and then leaves as he came. With the time machine now destroyed, Trunks starts bitching about it, but Vegeta taunts him for being weak, while Bulma is trying to find the old time machine. Once she does, they begin preparations for the future timeline and Black's impending doom. With that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If it's Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're talking about what if Gohan never stopped training. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I post either Minecraft or Osu stuff. Now back to the video. In the last part we discussed the events going on after the Tournament of Destroyers. Basically filler, in which Gohan's manager got triggered and so Gohan went ballistic and accidentally powered up in front of him. In future Trunks' timeline, the events go similarly and Trunks arrives in the past timeline. He gets healed up and he explains the situation a little before attacking Gohan because he thought he was the villain from his timeline. Once the real foe came to the rift, we saw it is Gohan Black, and so Goku fought him. Black handled himself well considering he was using his Zenkai hacks to his advantage. Once the rift reacted to his change of time, Black was kicked into this rift by Goku, but he still destroyed the time machine. Bulma then attempts and succeeds in finding an old time machine way back from Cell Saga. They repair it and they get ready to rumble. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the what if. Trunks, Gohan, and Vegeta all travel to the future timeline and see a whole lot of happiness on Earth. They decide to help the remaining humans by giving them a whole lot of food. So Vegeta clears some space and opens a capsule containing a table full of food. The survivors grab a bite to eat, and once our trio sees the survivors satisfied, they go on with the plan. Knowing Black will come running like Acnologia when the new Saiyan walks up to his porch, they proceed to signal their rebellion. Once they fired their blast, Black indeed came with a spectacular entrance. "I see you indeed managed to come back. You always do. Time to put you to an end for good. I saw what you did to those poor people, and I don't think even Zeno himself will ever forgive you." "Oh, shut up. Like you mortals know how Zeno feels. You have no clue how impure this world is with mortals around. When I do my deed, I will restore this world to its original glory." "Spare me your nonsense, will you? Like you have any clue what real threats are in the universe, and you're over here talking about your own selfish justice. Look at yourself. You say we should perish, but you're immortal too. Use your head. This body was a necessary sacrifice." With Vegeta slightly weirded out, he steps up to initiate a fight, and so they begin to fight. Vegeta uses his Super Saiyan Blue right from the start and does quite a bit of damage to Black. However, Black goes and shows Vegeta something he will soon regret triggering, which is of course Super Saiyan Rosé, and he starts pummeling Vegeta. However, Vegeta has something of his own, the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. They go at it again, and Vegeta almost dominates again, but just shy of a little more power, and so he gets thrown to the ground. Gohan then goes to intervene and do some damage, so he goes Mystic from the start and overpowers Black just with Mystic. Black is really trying to get a hold of Gohan, or to at least trick him, but he's literally nothing. So he starts his Zenkai hacks and slowly starts catching up. Seeing he's using his Zenkai to his advantage, he tries to get rid of Black of this world, but is unsuccessful as Black caught up and has already surpassed Gohan by a bit. Gohan almost goes nuts, but doesn't because he knows if he uses a few techniques of his own, he can get a higher advantage without raising Black's Zenkai even more. So he switches up his guard and tries to trick Black, which actually succeeds, and he gets a critical blow to Black's spine, which makes him drop down like a fly. However, Zamasu arrives and sees the two Saiyans and his ally on the ground with a broken back. Zamasu vows he will avenge his counterpart, confusing Gohan. With that, Gohan's and Zamasu's fight begins, with Gohan being a whole lot more powerful than the Supreme Kai. However, he notices he never takes damage, so he punches through him, which actually does succeed, but not for long as Zamasu regenerates and gives him a smirk. Meanwhile, Vegeta gets up and goes for the final kill as he launches a Big Bang attack at Black, killing him for good. Zamasu notices that and gets enraged and goes and recklessly attacks Gohan, but to no avail. Gohan tries to defeat the god but can't because of the immortality. Zamasu then gets a grand idea as he starts powering up, surprising Gohan and, well, pretty much everyone else there. Gohan knows this will lead to nowhere, so he tells Vegeta they gotta retreat, with great displeasure from Vegeta. But Vegeta actually agrees with his thinking, and they let Trunks take care of distracting Zamasu. They return back to plot their Plan B. Vegeta asks of everyone to leave him alone, and Gohan settles at the table to plot the new plan. Goku decides he'd like to participate, however Gohan tells him not to as he can only get in the way. But looking down, he asks of one more thing from his father, and these are the clothes, saying he has no spares at home and he's not wearing any at the moment, so Goku lets him borrow his gi. Once that was out of the way, Gohan explains how they killed Black, but there was a Supreme Kai by the name of Zamasu tearing it all apart again after Black. He also mentions the counterpart thing, and he comes up with a theory that either he turned his future self evil or he switched bodies. They then go investigate in Universe 10. Gohan, Whis, Beerus, and Shin get there and see Zamasu and Gowasu. Beerus asks of the time rings, and pretty much everything goes as in canon. Beerus says how he sensed an evil aura coming out of him, so they keep an eye on him. They return back and start revising the plan. However, Goku then mentions how Master Roshi knows of a technique that can steal anyone or anything if properly done, so Gohan then comes up with a plan to try and learn the technique. Piccolo intervenes, saying he knows the technique, and so Gohan asks Piccolo to train him for it. Piccolo then goes and teaches him the technique, and once Gohan does a couple successful tries in a row, Piccolo considers him, well, ready to go. Around that time, Vegeta comes out of the chamber, ready to take on Zamasu. Beerus and Whis then go to investigate on their own this time, while the Saiyans take on Zamasu in the future. Vegeta and Gohan get back to the future timeline, and Zamasu is patiently waiting there, having destroyed even more stuff than how it was the last time. Gohan takes out the jar, and he does the technique. With that, Zamasu is supposed to be trapped, right? No, not so fast. They forgot to seal, so they failed on that part. Gohan then goes blue and also stacks it with Mystic, and punches Zamasu hard enough to confuse him for a second. Gohan then powered up a massive Kamehameha and fired it at Zamasu with all he's got. After the dust settles and the smoke clears, Zamasu is nowhere to be seen. Gohan thinks that he finally defeated the quote-unquote immortal god. However, it wasn't the end, as Zamasu surrounded the earth and started haunting it. Gohan went to attack it along with Vegeta and Trunks, but they all got knocked back to the ground. Gohan then drops something, a button to be precise. Is that what I think it is? That's the Zeno button Kakarot uses! Well, let's see what he can do then. Gohan pushes the button and Zeno appears. Gohan asks of Zeno to destroy the Zamasu that engulfed the earth, and so he does. Gohan yells for everyone to get in the machine, and everyone who was left there does so. They manage to pull it off with a few seconds to spare. With Trunks and Mai still there, they have to get to another timeline, and Whis recommends going to a similar timeline where Gohan Black didn't destroy everything. And they do. Beerus and Whis also get back after gathering the evidence against Zamasu, and in the meantime Hakkaiing him. And with that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If you think Zamasu is gay, then click dislike, but if you like the video, in the last part, we discussed how Gohan and Vegeta traveled to the future timeline and battled Black. They managed to kill him for good, but Zamasu appeared out of nowhere and just started flexing his immortality. So Gohan and Vegeta had to return to plot a plan and came up with the plan to seal him away. They go back and do so, but they forget the spell to keep him in, and Zamasu exits out, so Gohan goes full power and Kamehamehas the fuck out of Zamasu. However, Zamasu didn't die. Well, at least not physically, as he engulfs the earth. Gohan and Vegeta try attacking him, but fail. However, Gohan drops a Zeno button, which was conveniently put in the gi Goku gave him since Gohan had no spares. Beerus and Whis destroyed the current Zamasu, and they went on with their day. With the recap out of the way, let's finish this what if. With Zamasu now gone, they're just chilling at Capsule Corp, having nothing else to do, and so they enjoy some peace at last. Goku goes to farming for a bit before getting bored and a bit rusty, and then goes to train at Beerus' planet. He asks about Zeno holding the tournament, and Beerus says that the Omni King isn't a person to play with, but Goku doesn't give a shit and presses the button. Gohan and Vegeta also arrive on Beerus' planet to train for a bit, and find out about Goku going to ask Zeno about the tournament, and they're kinda triggered and scared because Zeno isn't a deity Goku can fuck around with. Goku asks Zeno of that, and everything goes smoothly on his end, but not so smoothly when he goes back to Beerus' world, as he gets punched for even considering going to Zeno by Beerus. Goku then asks to be taken to the Kaioshin realm, and they go there. Soon Daishinkan arrives and announces the Tournament of Power, along with its rules and regulations, and also along with the universe destruction and all that. Of course, everyone is scared about it, and Daishinkan leaves. So they start planning on how to actually win after they come back to their senses. But first, they have to prepare for the Zeno Expo to see if Zeno will actually like it. Everything goes as in the original except Vegeta gets in instead of Boo like in canon. Everything goes similar to canon. Once done, they began preparations for the tournament. They get 3 obvious picks, those being Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, with Vegeta refusing at first as his second baby is literally due, so Whis goes and does his magic. They invite Piccolo to do it too, and they assemble the androids and Krillin along the way, as well as Tien. They look at Roshi to do it and he's in, but they look at Goten and Trunks and think about dropping them in as well, and they remove Roshi. With 10 warriors gathered up, they start training. Goku and Gohan go in the chamber and train their asses off first, as well as bonding just like in the Cell Saga, and then Vegeta decides to train the kids so they're more responsible in combat. So he pulls them in there too, and they then come out. The weird thing is, well, except on being part with the gods due to Vegeta training them, they come out fused into Gotenks. The kids will be pretty important later, by the way. Everyone else goes and trains on their own and get buffed up for the tournament. Piccolo brings a few bottles as he comes up with a plan for an easy win. Trunks and Goten get their last bits of training and Trunks gets a haircut. Having that out of the way, they prepare to travel to the tournament arena. Upon arrival, they see a few familiar faces there. At this point, everything goes as in canon until Goku fights Jiren and gets beaten up badly and he goes Ultra Instinct. However, the form doesn't last like in canon, it's actually shorter, and he fails just like he got it. Gohan sees this and wonders what it might be. Thinking back, he remembers Whis telling him about the technique where the body reacts on its own and how even Beerus hasn't mastered it yet, and he's a god. Seeing that his father accessed the form as sophisticated as that, he decides to learn more about it, so he goes back to take a crack at Jiren. At first he's getting nowhere, but he brings out his Mystic Blue and goes at it, but soon he too falls. Gohan, like in every situation like this, is in his limbo. He fully relaxes and thinks nothing of it since he really can, and so he goes Ultra Instinct Omen too, and then goes after Jiren, having him on a leash. Vegeta sees this and also tries to do it, but is unsuccessful and gives up. Gohan runs out of stamina to keep the Ultra Instinct up, and then drops down. With that, they continue on with the battles as in the original, and they're doing quite well considering what happened a few minutes prior. Goten and Trunks were having trouble with Ribrianne, so they decided to fuse, impressing them, but getting knocked out shortly later. Gotenks then goes towards Jiren. He takes great precaution and then rushes him, dodging his invisible punches and landing his own actually, proving they actually learned a thing or two from Vegeta. Vegeta goes to fight Toppo, and is handling himself well until Toppo starts unleashing more and more power. Vegeta knows what to do and goes Blue Evolution and continues his fight. Goten gets knocked out eventually, so Goku goes at him, trying to access the instinct again, and he succeeds after getting a beating of a lifetime, and he actually does something with it this time. He pushes Jiren quite a bit, however he too goes down like in the original. Vegeta thinks he can go toe to toe with Jiren if he does it too, so he tries it himself, and this time his Saiyan pride isn't blinding him as much, and he gets a taste of Ultra Instinct. A very subtle and random taste, but he does it somehow. However, he can't utilize it enough in his battle with Toppo, so he again uses his evolution to knock Toppo out of the arena. Gohan is recovering, but nowhere finished, as he uses the low energy consumption along with the ultimate power of Mystic to his advantage and battles other contestants, beating them. Goku is now cornered and has nowhere to go, so Jiren kicks him out, having impressed and disappointed others. Gohan and Vegeta are on their own now as they battle Jiren. Goten and Trunks wait for their fusion as they fuse again, having perfected it so they can fuse whenever by controlling the fusion time, and they join their father and brother. Gotenks then feels a push, and they too unleash the B-type Super Saiyan just like Goku. Gohan gets beaten up, and so does Vegeta. Gotenks unfuses, and they plan on their next move. They fuse yet again to try the Ultra Volleyball attack, and they manage to almost kick Jiren off, but fail as Jiren gets out of it. They then try the Ghost Kamikaze attack, and they manage to hurt him, but that's about it. They then defuse and call it quits. Gohan then appears, having exploded, followed by a massive aura, and goes into his another Ultra Instinct. He then goes and wears out Jiren, even going Master Ultra Instinct for that one attack, and once he started out, he lets everyone else take care of business. With that, Android 17, Vegeta, and the boys are on Jiren in literal seconds despite all of them being tired. Vegeta gets eventually kicked out too, and Gohan is knocked out cold, which leaves 17 and Gotenks to deal with it. Vegeta gave his last bits of energy to Gotenks, and they made use of it, going Type B for the last charge, and 17 helps out as much as possible. They lure Jiren to the edge of the ring, then jump him and drag him out of the boundaries. Gohan wakes up at just the right time and sees that they won. Gohan wishes for the universes to be restored, and with that, they return their reputation. It's been a while, and everyone is just chilling. The Broly movie isn't really happening because Frieza is not around. Broly and Paragus just get recruited to the Frieza Force, and the Force is still revising their plans to revive Frieza yet again. And with that, we're finally done with this What If. Thank you for watching. If you think I should stream myself making a new video,